Yeah, you're not hallucinating. Hello, folks. It's me. Why am I doing this video then? Well, I'll tell you why. It's for you, really. It's I was just blown away by the positive messages I got on the last video I posted. Obviously, I wasn't in a very good frame of mind at the time. However, I just want you chaps to know I'm feeling good at the moment. I'm hopefully coming out the end of a short batch. Sadly, it's not beer, but you know what I mean. And hopefully things are, are just getting back to sort of normal-ish, whatever normal is. I've said that before, haven't I? So, I was honestly blown away. I wasn't expecting so many of you to care, to be honest, and it took me a while to sit back and go, oh, well, perhaps I ought to make more of an effort then to just get on with it, rather than just sit and moan about it. But of course, hindsight, you can't always just switch it off, can you? And you just have to go with it. But the good news is I'm feeling alright today. Oh, posty. I'm feeling alright today. I bet it's just bills, isn't it? And I know I said I wasn't going to be doing any homebrew Wednesday videos for a while. But that was before I saw all your messages. And I was just blown away. I can't, you must know from this, from me just, trying to tell you how blown away I was by it. How blown away I was by it. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that at all. I genuinely just amazed. And so thank you really for your support. I wish I could have you there all the time, to pick me up when I'm feeling low. Oh, that's a lyric, isn't it? Pick me up when I'm feeling low, and that's why, baby, I've got to let you know, Joanna, I love you. Do you remember that? Don't worry about it. Yeah, folks, today I'm feeling all right. And as you know, and as we all know, you have to take each day as it comes, don't you? So I'm not going to do a proper Homebrew Wednesday video, it's just a thank you really. But what I am going to do, I'm not doing any brews this week. And I still don't know whether I'm going to be back for good. It might be the return of the handsome rugged man. I don't know. For those of you that like level 42 like me, you'll know the reference. But what I have got here is a bottle of lager. Now this is the Tet Nang lager recipe from brewuk.co.uk, one of the sponsors of the SJ Pour Challenge, I believe, in the UK. I didn't use the lager yeast. I used an ale yeast because I wanted to do something a bit different with it, if you remember. You might not remember. Certainly if I didn't do a video on it on YouTube, I stuck it up on the Facebook group. So I just want to do a quick taste test. It's nothing too challenging or too in-depth today. It's just me doing a quick taste test of this. It's, oh, got a big head on it, isn't it? It's been sitting at room temperature for just over 2 weeks, and I can smell it's quite malty. Yeah, can I smell any hops in there? Not really. It's quite malty, but I don't think that head's going to be going anywhere soon, is it? Oh dear. The fizz is okay though, isn't it? Look, this is more of an ale than a lager because I used ale yeast, as I said, and I just wanted to, I'm trying to get my palate to lean more towards ales and away from lagers, because lagers you're a little bit restricted, you know. A lager's a lager at the end of the day, and although, you know, you can get pilsners and Australian lagers and European lagers and all different types of lagers, pretty much the same, really. I know people out there are going to go, no they're not, and they're going to moan, but they are really very similar. Whereas if you do an ale, you can get so many different varieties of ales with all the different hops and things that you put in there. I think you've got more range and room for improvement, haven't you? Whereas even lager, you just stick a lager yeast in, chuck it in the fridge at 12 degrees, 10 to 12 degrees, leave it there for 3 or 4 weeks, let it clear, and that's it. But I know I'm not a really hoppy fan, and maybe that's just the different types of hops I've tried. I've done a Mexican cerveza in the last week, and that's using a liquid White Labs Mexican yeast. I've grown it up like I'd like to do with all my liquid yeasts. That's in the beer controlled fridge around about 11 degrees. That will stay in there for 2 weeks, probably maximum 2 weeks, and then I'm going to chuck it into secondary, but I'm going to put some Cascade in, probably about 25 grams of Cascade into secondary, and then siphon it over the top of those hops and leave it in there for about a week and then bottle it. So we'll see what happens with that. So I am trying more and more things, folks. I've not given up the brewing yet. I've given up on everything else. Job search is not doing too well, but you know, I can't get down about it because it's just ridiculous. I need to be positive and keep just basically getting on with it and stuff. However, yeah, thanks for watching, folks. I'll just give you a quick review of this. Look, it's cloudy because it's literally only just finished carbonating. As you can see, it's quite fizzy. It needs to rest for a while, probably 4 to 6 weeks. I imagine it will start to get really drinkable, but at the moment let's give it a quick go. It's not bad. Not bad as it is, actually. It's a malty lager with a slight hint of hoppage in there. I'd be happy to drink that though, as it is, even though it is a little bit cloudy. But then I made it as an ale, so yeah, 4 to 6 weeks I reckon. Stick it in the shed, leave it in there, go and get some, put it in the fridge and have the odd bottle occasionally. So yeah, there you go. What else have I got on the go, folks? I've got a little cider on the go on the side there. It's a you know, normal bog standard turbo cider. I put in Wilko's Jovian Ale yeast, which I think is a strain of Nottingham. I'm not too sure. I've read that's the case, so you know, don't take that as read. I've just read up on the internet that it is Nottingham strain. I've put some sugar in there, but just make it sweeten. And the reason I've used the ale yeast, oh, quite fizzy. The reason I've used the ale yeast is because I don't want it to ferment all the way down to 1.000, and ale yeasts, English ale yeasts, tend to drop out at about 1012, something like that. Anywhere between 1012 to 1.010. So hopefully it'll be a bit sweeter. But just in case, I've put some Splendor in there, which has got maltodextrin in it to give it a bit of body, you know. So we'll see how that comes out. You know, if it doesn't come out, all right, it's fine. It's only a little gallon batch. And in the conservatory, I've got a Tom Caxton lager that I threw a load of beer enhancer at. That smells really malty. I'm a bit concerned about that because I think I might have put too much maltage in there. Maltage and hoppage. no such words, I know, but you know what I mean. And I was a bit worried that the Safehouse US-05 yeast that I used on that particular batch dropped out early. And I checked it after 4 days and it was 1.020 down from something like 1.046. So I need to check it again, but just in case I put a little bit more sugar in there, because it did look like it was rather malty and smelled really malty, and I just wanted to thin it out a little bit. So hopefully that will kick off the yeast again, and you know, I know it's going to bring the alcohol content up a little bit, but it might thin it out as well. We'll see what happens. It is just experimentation, isn't it, really? So yeah, I know this isn't a proper return to the mantle, and it's just really to say thank you to you guys. Yeah, if you guys hadn't responded in the way that you had, there's no way I would have even considered coming back to do this. No way on earth. You couldn't have dragged me back. But you know, you lot are a bunch of good blokes, and I know I say things sometimes in the heat of the moment, but for which I apologise. But I want you to know now, here and now, while I'm relatively sane today, folks, that 99.9% of the time, I'm you know, I don't mean it. I just get frustrated in the heat of the moment, as we all do in the heat of the moment. And when you're, I'm not crying, by the way. I've just got, I've got runny nose. Is the pollen up? Perhaps it's the pollen today. I'm a little bit sinusy today. Yeah, so sorry, I'm a twat, but I'll try not to let it get me down. With your help and support, I'm sure we'll carry on doing these little face-to-faces, even if it's just a quick chat to say hello and have a quick drink. I recommend having a go at this, folks. If you like lager, of course. If you don't like lager, then you can just use it as a base for an ale and just put loads of hops in there and tweak it a little bit and do your own thing. Like I said, I used a US-05, so it's got a sort of slight ale twang to it, but it's not a million miles away from a normal bog standard Cooper's lager kit, really. It's a little bit crisper, but as I say, it's a bit cloudy and it needs a little bit of time to settle. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put all this stuff in the shed here, all 40 pints worth, something like that. I'm not going to drink it all at once. Oh, and if you remember on the cast a couple of weeks ago, 3 or 4 weeks ago now, how's that getting on? That's the Suma concentrate. Got another one here. What's happened to that one? Get organised in a minute, won't I? That's another Suma concentrate. But I can't bloody well find it now. I don't know where it's gone. I've got two 2-litre bottles of the cherry cider that we made in the friend of mine Gary and I made in the garden cherry cider, as we called it. That's finished carbonating now. It might even be in the shed. I can't remember putting it in there, but it's around somewhere. It might be in the conservatory, probably out there. So I'm going to do a taste test of that in this week's homebrew Wednesday. What am I talking about? In this week's cast. So tune in and I'll do a little bit of a review on the garden cherry cider in this week's cast. Hopefully see you there. Again, thanks really much, folks. I've need to put my teeth in. Ironically, I've recently been to the dentist. I asked them if they could just take them all out, but then they said that would cost thousands and thousands of pounds. It's a bit of a bummer, isn't it? I wouldn't mind having forces, you know, because then you ain't got to worry about all that bloody, you know, drilling and, oh, it's horrible, isn't it? Especially when they clean it, doesn't it hurt? What's that all about? Just going to give you a simple clean, Mr. Lake. Yeah. It hurts. Anyway, thank you again, folks. I'm going to go and drink the rest of this. Have a nice week. guys. Hopefully see you on the cast on Saturday from about 5 p.m. If not, I'll probably see you next week, and when I come back to the mantle, hopefully properly, in a proper fashion, we'll just pretend it never happened. I think that's probably the best thing to do, isn't it? I never really had a little mini breakdown. I'm absolutely fine. And I'm joking, by the way, don't worry. Yeah, see you soon, folks. Ta-da.